What up, guys? If you're watching, just type in, say hi. We'll see who's all here. Hey, no problem, Ashley. Thanks for coming. I'm gonna try to give a few minutes to audio show up. We're now showing 3 people here. Hey, Ashley, can you hear me okay? Hey, what's up, Kaisha? Yeah, actually, so that's exactly why I'm here, to help people understand Bitcoin a little better, so they can get in on this opportunity. There's a lot of people, I guess Bitcoin was in the news yesterday because Bitcoin just crossed over $10,000 yesterday. And I guess it was a news brief, and I got an influx of questions. I was just getting bombarded yesterday evening. I didn't know exactly what happened. I checked the price, and I seen that Bitcoin finally went over $10,000. So there was plenty of people hit me up saying, okay, how do I get in this? What is Bitcoin? Oh, I should have listened to you months ago when you was telling me about this. And that's how it's been going. So I'm gonna try to give a few more minutes. I'm gonna try to be on here for 30 minutes or so. I don't want to make this too long. If you're here, just say hi. Type in chat and say hi. I want to see who's over here. I don't do this live thing much at all. Hey, what's up, Tawana? All right, so I'm gonna start off a little bit. So to give a brief understanding what Bitcoin is, it's currency. That's the simplest term I can give it. It's currency. It's actually like a currency you can spend to buy things and trade with. A little bit more technical, it's a currency that's 100% digital. It's not tangible. You cannot touch it. You cannot physically give it to anybody or anything like that. Bitcoin started out with a community of people, just a few people who got in on it. I think it started back in 2009, 2010. It was worthless. It was just people who were doing it as, I would say, as a hobby or as a hope that it will become something bigger in the coming years. And that's exactly what happened. 2010, Bitcoin was less than a penny. Fast forward 7 years, just yesterday we hit a milestone. It crossed $10,000. And the way it was looking earlier today, let me check something. Earlier today, it could have possibly been $11,000. Let me see. Terrence, yeah, you can cash out at any time. Matter of fact, let me get you guys a link right now where you can actually, because it's just like a regular currency, just like how you can go in exchanges, you can buy euros or yen or anything like that. You can do the same thing with Bitcoin. One second here. So there's different exchanges, just like other currencies and websites. Just like you have E-Trade, and you have other websites that can trade dollar for yen. You have one website. It's called Coinbase. I'm about to share the link in the description and just in the comments in just a moment here. Now, this link I'm going to share, this is my referral link to Coinbase. Once you sign up and your total purchase have reached $100, you will receive a $10 credit on your account, extra $10 for free. Let me see. Yeah, so the potential of Bitcoin is huge, because to me, I don't know the exact percentage of the people in the world who's using Bitcoin, but if you ask me, it's probably less than 1% of the people of the whole population of the world, and it's becoming more mainstream day by day. And you know, the more popular something becomes, it's about supply and demand. The demand's going to become higher, then the price is going to go up. So as of right now, earlier this year, I think beginning of this year, I've seen a prediction where somebody said Bitcoin is probably going to hit $4,000. I told myself, I was like, well, I said, I think it's probably going to hit 5,000. It beat them and it beat me. It beat me by 5,000. Okay, so if you want to, you don't have to buy at this exact moment, but I'm going to share this link in here now. That's a link to on Coinbase.com. You can go there and you can sign up, but you don't have to buy right now. You can do some research or whatever. And I would encourage anybody to research further to understand a little bit more, because I'm not going to be able to give you the full details about everything today. But I do plan on doing these live streams often. Probably not every day, but maybe every couple of days, to jump in, answer questions, and maybe give out the latest news and tips and stuff that I've seen. But yeah, it's huge. It's really huge, and a lot of people think it's just a fad, but it's not. It's really not. The only way this could go down is if governments around the world consider it, ban this, make it illegal. But I don't see it happening. There's too many big companies that's accepting Bitcoin. I know Microsoft accepts Bitcoin, and I believe Amazon soon is going to start accepting Bitcoin. And if that happens, I believe the price of Bitcoin is going to skyrocket. Amazon is I believe the world's largest retail organization right now. You know, because they're the reason Toys R Us and other retail stores, more brick and mortar retail stores, are actually feeling it right now financially because of Amazon. It's too much there's too much retail online. If anybody have any questions you want to ask or anything, that's why I'm here. I'm here to try to answer your questions as best as I can today. If you can, if you have some friends or anything, share the post with them. Let them know. I'm here to answer questions. So yeah, matter of fact, on Terrence, your question a little bit further. So on Coinbase, you're able to buy Bitcoin, and you can buy Bitcoin using either your bank account or credit card. And once you sell, you're able to sell back to a card or a bank account, or in my case, I have my PayPal set up. So when I sell, that money goes immediately into my PayPal account, and I have a credit card on my PayPal account, so I have instant access to the money. Okay, so Kaisha asks, where should we store our coins? Okay, so the best option is recommended that you create your own, basically a Bitcoin account using the Bitcoin wallet. And the wallet is a piece of software that actually connects to the Bitcoin ecosystem. What is it? Not an ecosystem, I would say the community. And then from there, you're able to create basically your own bank account. That's the best I can describe it. You have your own account number, then it generates your own, what is a private key, which is your password, basically. And it's best to store your coins there. If you don't really want to store your currency on Coinbase permanently. I have some currency on Coinbase, but I'm going to end up moving it within the next couple of days if I don't end up withdrawing it. I'm gonna put it into my own account, because right now my currency is on Coinbase account and they are in control of that address. So if Coinbase website goes down or anything, I will be stuck. I will basically probably lose my money there, my currency there. But if you want to learn more about the Bitcoin wallet, I should have a piece of paper and some notes here. 1 second. Here's my notebook. All right. But if you want to learn more about the Bitcoin wallet, I think it's, I should get this address right quick. Yes, okay, it's bitcoin.org. That's the official website for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is the start of all the current digital currencies right now, cryptocurrencies. It's like the granddaddy. And I do say granddaddy because now there are thousands of coins out there right now. Some of them are what we call basically shit coins, or crap coins, and there are some that are very legit, very well legit. Some of them, the second largest coin out there is one called Ethereum. The abbreviation for Ethereum is ETH. That's the total The total market value, matter of fact, I'm going to give you the total market value for Bitcoin right now is $170 billion. That's nothing to be like, hey, this is a fly-by-night thing. It's not. Second up is Ethereum. Ethereum is $43 billion. And that's the total worth of all coins out there as of right now. I would say the third is a alternative, is basically a clone of Bitcoin, but with a difference a little bit. It's called Bitcoin Cash, and that abbreviation is BCH. So let me go through and look at the other questions right quick. I heard there's been a buyer on the other team before you can sell person bankers. That is true, Terrence. Yeah, so he says you heard it has to be another buyer on the other end. Yeah, it's like a stock too. If you have some stocks, in order for you to cash out your stock, somebody has to buy it. It's the same way. But just like stocks is actually, you can consider stock, it could be a currency too. It holds value. So if you had some stock, you can buy stuff with stocks if you want to. If you trade your stock to somebody else, basically you exchange your stock for somebody's car. You use your stock as currency. So it's kind of the same way with Bitcoin. Let's see what else we got. What advice and insights would you give to people who are new to using cryptocurrency? My advice: research. Talking to people who know a little bit is the first step. But then also do a little bit of your own research as well. It's good to kind of know the beginning history of Bitcoin, because this is still early. Everybody who's in Bitcoin right now, I would say, are early adopters. And they're the ones that are going to benefit the most when Bitcoin become mainstream. Because their current holdings are going to be, I can't really say what it's going to be, but it's not going to be nowhere near worth what you had when you first got it. It's going to increase significantly. I'm trying to think of anything else I might, and just like anything that's brand new and it holds value, there's always going to be people out there who try to scam you out of your coins, just like people who try to scam you out of your bank account information. Be diligent and take care of your information, your public keys and your private keys. I know I haven't discussed those, but they are very important, especially your private key. Never, I mean absolutely never, give anybody your private key information. Do not send it through the internet if you don't have to, or anything. Because you don't want no place where, say on Facebook, you message somebody your private key and somebody could be looking over a shoulder, or somebody hack your account and they see your private key and they can copy and paste it. The only thing they need to have is your public key then, or your public key, and they can wipe you out of all your currency, everything. It's just like a bank account. If you give somebody the wrong access, if you give them the wrong information, they can take all your money. And that's very important because there is no authority factor here. If you lose your money, nobody can go back and say, hey, there was fraud here, I need my money back. It ain't happening. It's not going to happen. Whatever transaction goes through, it's final. So if you make a mistake and you meant to send somebody 0.01 Bitcoin, and you left off the point in there, and you put, let me say, actually, you probably send somebody 0.0125 Bitcoin. You leave off the decimal and you put it at 125, and you had that amount in your account, you're sending them 125 Bitcoin. And if they don't send it back, you're just out of your money. So you have to be careful about these things. It's new, everybody's early adopter, so there are pitfalls right now. There are errors. I'm going to say errors, not as in software errors, as in human errors. that people have done. You know, I heard a story a couple months ago of somebody they meant to send a couple fractional amounts of Bitcoin, but they sent somebody 10 Bitcoin by mistake, and then they also sent it to the wrong address. The people who received the Bitcoin, they're part of the Bitcoin community, and they let somebody, they put a blog post about it, and they actually, on good faith of them, they sent it back to the individual who sent it to them by mistake. So there's things of that nature that's been going on. Let's see, is there a cost to join, Ashley? Yes and no. If you just pure Bitcoin, no. Only cost it would be to, if you was buying Bitcoin from somebody else. If I wanted to sell you my Bitcoin, I could do that. And I could sell it to you for fair value, in which you'll receive the same dollar amount in Bitcoin that I have. But if you go through websites like the site I linked up there, it's called Coinbase. There is a transaction fee. Just like any financial institution, they usually don't charge you fees for some things. So you go through websites, yeah, they're business, so they have to make money, so they do charge you fees on that. And then also, I would say there is an additional fee as well, which I almost forgot. So it is a fee. When you send transactions, there's a fee attached to each transaction that you make. These transaction fees are a way to incentivize people to keep their computers running on a Bitcoin network, because there's a little bit more technical to them, but a little bit more. The Bitcoin network is supported by millions of computers around the world that are tracking and verifying every transaction that goes through. With a bank, if you go to a brick and mortar bank like Wells Fargo, they have a ledger in there of all the transactions. It's not open. Only Wells Fargo can see this information. But they keep track of all transactions, and you know, it's a closed system. That's what's called centralized. But opposed Bitcoin is what is known as decentralized currency. That means there is not one entity that controls the currency. They cannot manipulate it and things of that nature, per se, as of right now. Let me try to see. I don't want to segue into that just yet. But what it is that it is an open ledger. That means any and everybody can go to the Bitcoin blockchain. That's another term I got to explain to you later on. It's called blockchain. You can go to the Bitcoin blockchain and they can see every transaction that's ever taken place in Bitcoin, starting with the very first transaction all the way up to the most current one, which is just happening probably right now. There's probably 1,000 transactions happening right now. You can see all of those, but you don't see names. You see account numbers, the public keys about where transactions taking place between one public key to another. So there's never names attached to those accounts. Yeah, you worked for Wells Fargo for 7 years. Yeah. So, and just like with banks and things in government, they can manipulate currency. Just like the U.S. government, they continuously printing money, causing inflation. That's manipulation. They just print out more money. With Bitcoin, you can't do that. You can't print out more money just to manipulate it. However, every 10 minutes on average, it's supposed to be on average, every 10 minutes, more Bitcoin is being put into the market. It's being generated, basically new Bitcoin. And it's designed that way, but there is only going to be a finite amount. There's only going to be a certain amount ever generated in Bitcoin. It's going to stop. When Bitcoin first started, I think 2010, roughly every 10 minutes, 50 Bitcoin was generated, put into the market. And when it gets to a certain point, that amount get cut in half. So it started out with 50, then it got cut down to 25, then it got cut down to 12. I think it's at 12.5 now. I can't remember if it's 12.5, but it already decreased down to 6.25. But all know it's on one of those numbers right now. So roughly every 10 minutes, new Bitcoin has been put into the network. So, and that's a way to, again, incentivize people to keep their computers on the network to run on that ledger so they can verify transactions, because those computers are what keep everything secure. Okay, let's see, what other coins are the best to invest in? Is Ripple a good investment? You can invest in a coin and or Ripple technology, right? Yes. Ripple a couple months ago, I believe, was under 10 cents. So it has already doubled in price. This was early this year, early this year. Matter of fact, I think it was under 1 cent. So Ripple right now is at 25 cents. And if you guys, anybody know about penny stocks or anything, the only thing it takes is one cent to go to 2 cents. You already doubled your money. So Ripple has more than, I don't know what percentage that is. It is definitely increased significantly. Matter of fact, you may have better opportunities in increasing your value in your currency by investing in other currencies at this moment, because Bitcoin has already crossed $10,000. It's still going to increase in value, but at the rate it increases, it may be much slower than other currencies. Ethereum, I believe earlier this year, was under $100. Ethereum right now is at $448. I'm looking at it. Let me see. Dash right now was at $719. It's at $719. I slept on Dash months ago, and I had some, and I sold it off, and I should have kept it. I missed out on that one. If you guys go to this website, I'm gonna link this right here. It's called coinmarketcap.com. I put the link in the comments. You can see the top coins in the world right now based on market cap. You can you can sort it by different factors, but it's sorted right now by market cap. Like any of these coins out here right now, I'll say, especially the top 10, you can't go wrong on those. There's a couple of terms people in cryptocurrency they have. It's basically one of the slang terms we use in these things. It's called to the moon. You know, is we going to the moon with it. Bitcoin prices going to the moon. And you may hear that a lot. Then you may hear people say something about HODL. It's HODL. They say HODL, which basically supposed to mean is hold. It's so funny. It was a story. Somebody was typing or something on a forum or something, and they meant to type hold, but they typed HODL, and it picked up from there, and it just stuck with the Bitcoin community. So when people say hold, a lot of people say HODL. You know, it's the same thing. As a matter of fact, somebody created a coin called HODL coin. I own some myself. Let's see what else we got. With Dev having more applications than BTC, like smart contracts do you think it would eventually outperform BTC? Anwar, that's a good question. I honestly think Ethereum could be the top gross and the top coin eventually. Some months ago, Ethereum almost caught up in market cap to Ethereum. I mean to Bitcoin. It almost caught up to it, and I was thinking it would. Now, if you guys I'm gonna give a little background. Ethereum, all these currencies is software that runs. So if it's software, you guys know software can do all type of things. You can write software to do, you know, operating systems, games, all of this stuff. So it's software so we can do stuff. It's not like a physical coin where you're told it's just a coin or money. This currency is digital, so it can do things. And with Ethereum is basically like a operating system. You can build other applications on top of Ethereum that runs there, and they would do all type of stuff. Like, instead of someone building a whole new coin and putting it out there, there's hundreds of coins right now that has been built on top of the Ethereum network, and it runs on Ethereum, but it's its own coin. And I know it may be sounding kind of confused and everything. It sounded confusing to me, but as longer I was in my research and looked at just things, I understand it more. So yes, I do know you guys is going to be confusing at first because it's something completely new. A lot of people was confused. I was confused. But if you stick with it, you will see you're not going to be disappointed. I guarantee you. Now it's not just. I'm gonna tell you guys a story. I tripled my money in 3 months. From February to May, the amount of money I had, I tripled it in 3 months. Now, it wasn't just because of Bitcoin. I had a piece of software that was assisting me on that, but it shows the potential. I haven't seen any type of stocks or anything like this that's giving you the potential right now that cryptocurrency is giving anybody to make money, to invest. And it's not just for hobbies. It's people who holding this stuff for their life savings. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, all right. It's crazy. I'm in talks with a couple people right now to assist with probably helping them to create a coin. And I brought up the idea where it may be more feasible for us to start our coin off on the Ethereum network, because Ethereum has millions of computers right now on that network, and a coin is only as strong as the community of people who are on the network. Anything you put on Ethereum right now, you already have the support of millions of people already. Let's see, anybody else got some questions they would like to ask? Like I said, I've already hit 33 minutes. I don't want to keep this too long. Because I really want to start doing this on a regular basis, because I just get a lot of questions. I'll be answering those one-on-one questions, but I want to build my own community of people and help out as many people as I can. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else we may need. I would just say the best thing to do right now, guys, is if you want to get into it, follow that link I put in the comments to Coinbase. Sign up with an account. You don't have to. I don't believe you have to purchase anything right now. You can do a little bit more research, but definitely use the link, because, like I said, once your total purchases finally go over $100, you'll receive another $10 in Bitcoin. You never know, that $10 can turn into $1,000 one day. All right. Anybody, like I said, in the next videos, anybody have anything they would like me to talk about the next time I do this live video, these live feeds? Well, all right, guys. If there's no more questions here, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live feed right now. Like I said, just look out for me. I'm gonna try to do this, like, I don't know if it's gonna be every day, but every other day maybe. I don't have a consistent basis. Someday I may do something tomorrow. I don't know. Well, just look out for me. I'm gonna at least announce on Facebook. I'm trying to announce probably at least an hour ahead of time before I go live. But I do plan on the videos are going to be a lot better than this. This was unexpected today. I was answering questions and I was just like, you know what? I just need to just go ahead and just do a live feed. I'm going to start doing this on a regular basis. But I said, there's no more questions, guys. That's it. Thank you all for coming in, participating, and look out for me again. Invite some other people that you know who have questions, and I'll be glad to answer them for you and for them. All right. Thanks. Peace out.